3, 2, 1.
In the heart of the Jordanian desert, hidden away by towering mountains of rock, lies a city of breathtaking wonder. This is Petra. It is not a city built with bricks or wood, but one carved directly from the living stone of the cliffs themselves. The stone here glows with an extraordinary palette of colors, from deep reds and soft pinks to oranges and yellows, which change with the passing of the sun. For this reason, it is often called the Rose-Red City. For centuries, this magnificent place was lost to most of the world, a secret held tightly by the desert sands and the local Bedouin people who knew its winding paths and hidden chambers. It is a testament to human ingenuity and a remarkable example of how life can flourish in the most challenging of environments. Imagine walking through a landscape of sculpted rock, where every cliff face tells a story. The sheer scale of Petra is almost impossible to comprehend until you are there, standing dwarfed by its monumental structures. It is a city that was home to thousands of people, a bustling center of trade and culture, all nestled within this natural fortress of stone. The name Petra itself means rock in Greek, a simple name for such a complex and awe-inspiring creation. This city was not merely built upon the rock, it is the rock. Its architects saw the potential in these sandstone cliffs and with incredible skill and vision, transformed them into a thriving metropolis that has captivated the human imagination for millennia. The location of Petra is as crucial to its story as the stone from which it is carved. Found in a remote valley in southern Jordan, it is surrounded by a formidable barrier of rugged mountains. This natural defense made the city almost impenetrable to outsiders, a safe haven in an often turbulent region. To reach its heart, one must journey through a narrow canyon, a dramatic entrance that builds anticipation for the wonders that lie within. This isolation protected Petra for centuries, allowing its culture to develop and its people to prosper. It is a place where nature and human ambition have come together in a truly spectacular partnership, creating a landscape that feels both ancient and alive. Today, as we gaze upon its incredible ruins on this day, August 21st, 2025, we are looking back through more than 2,000 years of history. Petra invites us to wonder about the people who called this place home. Who were they? And how did they manage to create such a masterpiece in the middle of a desert? The city stands as a silent, powerful reminder of a lost civilization, its empty tombs and temples whispering tales of kings, merchants, and gods. It is a journey not just to a place, but into time itself, offering a glimpse into a world that was once vibrant with life, trade, and extraordinary artistry, all hidden within these beautiful rose-red walls. The magnificent city of Petra was the creation of a remarkable people known as the Nabateans. They were originally a nomadic tribe of Arabs, people who moved from place to place with their herds, mastering the harsh realities of desert life. Over time, they settled in this specific region around the 4th century BC, drawn to its strategic location and natural defenses. The Nabateans were not just survivors, they were innovators. They possessed a deep understanding of the desert environment, knowing where to find water and how to travel safely across the vast, arid landscapes. This knowledge would become the foundation upon which they would build their extraordinary kingdom and its breathtaking capital city. Their genius lay in their ability to control the most precious resource in the desert, water. But they were also brilliant traders. Petra was perfectly positioned at the crossroads of ancient trade routes that connected Arabia, Egypt, and Syria. Caravans laden with frankincense, myrrh, spices, and silk would pass through their territory, and the Nabateans grew wealthy by offering safe passage, water, and shelter for a price. This wealth transformed them from a simple nomadic tribe into a powerful and sophisticated civilization. They used their riches to carve out their city, creating a bustling hub of commerce and culture that was famous throughout the ancient world. The Nabateans were not just skilled engineers and merchants, they were also artists. Their unique culture was a blend of their own Arabian traditions and the influences they absorbed from the many different peoples they traded with, including the Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians. This can be seen in the very architecture of Petra. The facades of their famous tombs and temples combine Nabatean designs with classical columns and decorative elements. They created a style that was entirely their own, a visual language that spoke of their identity as a people who stood at the center of a vibrant, interconnected world, all while living in the heart of the desert. For several centuries, the Nabatean kingdom thrived, with Petra as its glorious centerpiece. They developed their own language and script, worshipped their own gods, and governed a vast territory. Their ability to adapt and innovate allowed them to not only survive but to flourish in an environment where many others would have failed. They turned the unforgiving desert into a source of immense wealth and power. The story of the Nabateans is a powerful lesson in human resilience and ingenuity. They were the true masters of the desert, and Petra remains their most enduring and magnificent legacy, a city that stands as a testament to their extraordinary vision. The entrance to Petra is an experience unlike any other. There is no grand gate or wide avenue. Instead, one must pass through a long, narrow gorge known as the Sick. This natural canyon, over a kilometer in length, winds its way through rock cliffs that tower up to 80 meters on either side. Walking through the Sick is a journey of anticipation. The path is often so narrow that the sky is reduced to a mere ribbon of blue far above. The walls of the canyon are a spectacle in themselves, sculpted by wind and water over thousands of years into swirling patterns of red, pink, and orange sandstone, a natural gallery of abstract art. As you make your way deeper into the Sick, the modern world seems to fall away completely. The air grows cooler, and the only sounds are the echo of your own footsteps and the quiet whisper of the wind. It feels as though you are entering a secret, sacred place. The Nabateans understood the power of this dramatic entrance. For ancient travelers and traders arriving after a long desert journey, this cool, shaded passage would have been a welcome relief and an awe-inspiring introduction to the wonders of the city. Along the walls, you can still see remnants of the channels the Nabateans carved to bring water into Petra, a constant reminder of their engineering prowess. The journey through the Sick is a slow reveal. With every twist and turn of the canyon, you expect to see something new, but the path continues to wind onward, building a sense of suspense. The play of light and shadow on the rock faces is constantly changing, creating an almost magical atmosphere. At times, the walls seem to lean in so closely that you can reach out and touch both sides at once. This incredible natural feature provided Petra with its primary defense. An invading army would have found it nearly impossible to march through this constricted a passage, making the city a virtually impenetrable fortress. And then, just as you become accustomed to the enclosed, winding path, the canyon presents its greatest surprise. Through a final narrow opening in the rock, you catch your first glimpse of Petra's most famous monument. The darkness of the Sick gives way to brilliant light, and framed perfectly by the canyon walls is the magnificent facade of the treasury. This carefully orchestrated moment is one of the most iconic reveals in the world, a piece of architectural and natural theater that has left visitors breathless for centuries. The journey through the Sick is not just a path, it is the beginning of the story, a dramatic prologue to the city carved from stone. Emerging from the cool darkness of the Sick, you are met with a sight of almost unbelievable beauty, Al-Khazna, the treasury. This is the monument that has come to symbolize Petra, its image recognized across the globe, carved with astonishing precision from a single cliff face of rose-red sandstone. It stands nearly 40 meters high. Its elaborate facade is a masterpiece of Hellenistic-inspired architecture, featuring intricate columns, ornate sculptures of mythological figures, and a large urn at its very peak. The sheer perfection of its symmetry and the delicacy of its details seem impossible, especially when one remembers that it was hewn from solid rock over 2,000 years ago. Despite its name, the treasury was almost certainly not a place for storing treasure. It is, in fact, a mausoleum, believed to be the tomb of a great Nabatean king, perhaps Aradus IV, who ruled during the height of Petra's power. The name treasury comes from a local Bedouin legend that an Egyptian pharaoh hid his treasure inside the stone urn at the top of the monument. For generations, people would shoot at the urn, hoping to break it open and release the riches within. The bullet marks that still scar its surface are a testament to this enduring legend, adding another layer to the monument's rich and mysterious history. The craftsmanship of the treasury is what makes it so special. The Nabatean builders started at the top of the cliff and carved their way down, a technique that required incredible planning and skill, as there was no room for error. Every column, every statue, and every decorative frieze was meticulously shaped by hand, slowly emerging from the rock face. The way the monument catches the light is truly magical. In the morning, it glows with a soft pinkish hue, which deepens to a fiery red as the sun sets. This ever-changing appearance makes it feel less like a static building and more like a living part of the mountain itself. Standing before the treasury today is a humbling experience. It represents the pinnacle of Nabatean artistry and engineering, a declaration of their wealth, power, and cultural sophistication. It was designed to impress all who entered Petra, a magnificent welcome that showcased the capabilities of its creators. The monument's true treasure is not gold or jewels, but the story it tells of a brilliant civilization and their ability to create enduring beauty in the heart of the desert. It is a perfect fusion of human ambition and natural wonder, a jewel carved not just for a king, but for the ages. The existence of a thriving city like Petra in such an arid desert environment seems almost impossible. The secret to its success, and to the survival of the Nabateans, was their unparalleled mastery of water. They were hydraulic engineers of the highest order, developing a sophisticated system of dams, cisterns, and water channels that harvested every precious drop of rainfall. In a region that receives very little rain, this ability was not just an advantage, it was the very key to life. Their ingenuity allowed them to support a population estimated to be as large as 20,000 people, as well as nurture gardens and provide water for the endless stream of trade caravans. The Nabateans cleverly harnessed the infrequent but powerful flash floods that surged through the desert canyons. Instead of seeing these floods as a threat, they saw them as an opportunity. They constructed a series of dams to slow the rushing water and divert it into their complex network of channels. These channels, many of which can still be seen carved into the rock walls of the Sikh and throughout the city, were lined with waterproof mortar and carefully sloped to guide the water exactly where it was needed. This system fed hundreds of underground cisterns, vast storage tanks carved deep into the sandstone, which kept the water cool and safe from evaporation under the hot desert sun. This remarkable infrastructure was a city-wide system. Water was distributed through terracotta pipes to public fountains, homes, and even to the agricultural terraces, where they grew crops like barley, wheat, and grapes. The Nabateans essentially created an artificial oasis, a green and vibrant city in a landscape that was otherwise barren and dry. Their ability to manage water meant they could stay in one place, build a permanent city, and control the valuable trade routes. Water was their true wealth, more valuable than the spices and silks that passed through their lands, as it gave them power and stability in an unstable world. The water systems of Petra are a profound testament to the Nabateans' deep understanding of their environment and their long-term vision. They did not fight against nature, they worked with it, using their intelligence and skill to create a sustainable way of life in one of the world's most challenging climates. Today, as we explore the ruins of Petra, these ancient water channels and cisterns are a powerful reminder that the greatest monuments of a civilization are not always its temples or tombs, but the clever solutions it creates to sustain life. The Nabateans built more than a city, they built a miracle of survival. While the treasury is Petra's most famous structure, it is only the beginning. The city is a vast necropolis, a city of the dead, with over 600 tombs carved into its colorful cliffs. As you move beyond the treasury, the valley opens up to reveal the street of facades, a long row of towering tombs built for the city's most important officials and wealthy citizens. Each facade is a unique work of art, simpler than the treasury, but no less impressive in its scale. These were not just burial places, they were eternal homes, designed to display the status and wealth of the families who built them, ensuring their memory would live on for eternity. Further into the city lie the royal tombs, a magnificent group of mausoleums carved high into the cliff face known as the King's Wall. These include the Urn Tomb, the Silk Tomb, the Corinthian Tomb, and the Palace Tomb. Their sheer size and more elaborate designs suggest they were intended for Nabatean royalty. The Silk Tomb is particularly beautiful, named for the stunning swirling colors of the sandstone, which look like waves of folded silk. The Palace Tomb is so vast it resembles a Roman palace, a three-story facade demonstrating the immense power and ambition of its creators. These monuments show the evolution of Nabatean architecture and their growing interaction with the wider Greco-Roman world. Beyond the tombs, Petra was also a city of the living, with its own spiritual and civic heart. High above the main city path lies the monastery, or Ad-Dair. Reaching it requires a strenuous climb up some 800 steps carved into the mountain. But the reward is a monument that rivals the treasury in its grandeur. Larger and more imposing, Its remote location suggests it was a site for important religious ceremonies. From its vast open plaza, one can see for miles across the mountains and valleys of Wadi Arba. The city also had a great temple, a Roman-style theater that could seat thousands, and a colonnaded street, which was the main shopping and social hub of Petra during its later Roman period. Exploring these different areas reveals the complexity of Petra. It was a city with distinct districts, each serving a different purpose. There were sacred areas for worship, grand avenues for processions, bustling markets for trade, and quiet residential quarters hidden in the hills. The scale of the city is immense, far larger than most visitors realize. Every cliff face seems to hold a secret, another tomb, a hidden cistern, or a simple dwelling carved into the rock. Walking through Petra is like reading a storybook written in stone, where each building adds another chapter to the tale of the remarkable people who lived, worshipped, and were laid to rest here. After centuries of prosperity, Petra's importance began to decline. Shifting trade routes that favored sea travel, along with a devastating earthquake in 363 AD, damaged the city and its vital water management systems. Slowly, the city was abandoned, its magnificent structures left to the wind and the sand. For over 1,000 years, Petra became a lost city to the Western world. Its location a secret known only to the local Bedouin tribes, who continued to live in its caves and among its ruins. They protected the city, preserving its stories and legends, including the one about the pharaoh's hidden treasure that gave the treasury its name. The city's rediscovery by the West is a story of adventure in itself. In 1812, a young Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt heard tales of a fabulous lost city hidden in the mountains of Wadi Musa. Disguised as an Arab scholar, he cleverly convinced a local guide to lead him to the site under the pretense of wanting to make a sacrifice at the tomb of Aaron, a nearby holy place. As he was led through the narrow Sikh, he became the first European in centuries to lay eyes on the magnificent treasury. His detailed journals and drawings reintroduced Petra to the world, sparking a wave of fascination that continues to this day. Today, Petra is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the new 7 wonders of the world, attracting visitors from every corner of the globe. Its importance lies not only in its stunning beauty, but also in the lessons it holds. Petra teaches us about the incredible resilience of humanity and our ability to adapt to even the most extreme environments. It shows us how different cultures can meet and blend, creating something new and unique. The city is a precious record of the Nabatean people, whose ingenuity and artistry would otherwise be largely forgotten. It is our responsibility to protect this fragile treasure for future generations. As we walk away from this rose-red city, we carry with us more than just photographs. We carry a sense of wonder. Petra encourages us to look at the world differently, to see the potential for beauty and life in unexpected places. It reminds us to respect the deep history that lies beneath our feet, and to imagine the lives of those who came before us. The Nabateans carved their legacy into the very rock of the earth, leaving a timeless message of ambition, creativity, and survival. And in doing so, they created not just a city, but an eternal source of inspiration for all of humankind.